What up YouTube? It's your boy ABC Delicious. I'm back yet again with another video. Hope everybody had a good weekend and they're living the good life. Anyway, I recently saw a movie with some of my friends. Do you guys want to guess what movie I saw? Let me give you a hint. Still have no idea? No, I haven't lost my mind. So basically I went to see the movie Spider-Man Far From Home with a bunch of friends, and I'm going to tell you my overall impression as well as what I thought about the movie. If you want to skip the video, which I hope you won't, basically I enjoyed the movie immensely. But as you guys know from my previous videos, I'm a very biased Marvel fan, but overall I thought the movie was really good. I'm going to try to do as much as I can of a non-spoiler video. So basically, this takes place after Avengers Endgame, which, if you guys haven't seen, I don't know what's wrong with you. It was an awesome movie. If you want to know my thoughts and opinions about the movie itself, go look at my video, which talks about my impressions of the movie as well as all the spoilers and what I thought about the movie itself. So you can check that out. Back to Spider-Man. I thoroughly enjoyed Tom Holland's performance as Spider-Man. I think he brings overall all the necessary characteristics of the character, which is youthful exuberance, having to be a badass when he has to be, but also because he's kind of an awkward adolescent going through being a teenager. He does a good job of kind of capturing what all that encompasses. Like, just imagine this. Just imagine you're, I think he's supposed to be like 15 or 16. You're 15 or 16 years old and you're just blessed or cursed with superhuman strength as well as all these amazing powers. Now, you would probably want to do what's best for others and try to save as many people as you can, but then it's also kind of a balancing act of how you would want to still live your own life and date girls and go to school, pass tests, etc. So I think Tom Holland does a really good job of doing that. Also, as a British accent, I think he definitely passes the test of doing a New York accent. It's always funny, I always have this jag that I talk to my friends about. It's how come British actors or actresses are really good or can really do an American accent, but then when Americans try to do a proper British accent, it comes out like Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins. I'm sorry to butcher this, but you know what I'm talking about. It comes out like, "Good day, governor." That was my really bad British accent, so please forgive me. I'm an actor, as you can see. Going back to the movie itself, the story is basically, if you look at the reviews, it's the aftermath of Avengers Endgame, because I don't really have time to talk about it, but could you imagine that you're in high school, half the class blinked out and then they came back 5 years later, so it's interesting. What were the consequences of some of your high school classmates are 5 years older than you, and then others, they come back looking exactly the same from the moment that they're calling it blinked out. I think that was interesting. It'd be cooler if they delved more into that, but I thought that was an interesting little touch. So, besides Tom Holland, you have Jake Gyllenhaal, which I haven't seen a movie in which he's done a really bad job. He's just a very capable actor, able to kind of convey and express whatever the script calls for. I'm not Roger Ebert, I don't profess to be. If there's a movie that you felt like he was the weakest guy, let me know in the comments down below. But I overall thought he did a good job as Mysterio. He plays Mysterio in the movie. And I don't want to give too much, so I'll just leave it at that. And has a really good jaw for the Marvel Universe. I'm a really good-looking, leading man kind of jaw, I would say. So he does a really good job. Nick Fury is in there, played by Samuel L. Jackson, who always just very consistent, just does his thing. Usually he doesn't have much to do. He's kind of like a supporting character, or the guy who kind of brings everybody together. So he's in there. Colby Smulders, who plays Agent, I forgot, but she was in the movie. She's like basically Nick Fury's second in command. I think she always does a good job of doing whatever the script requires of her. She doesn't really have a lot, but whatever scenes she's in is very impactful. Zendaya, yeah, she does a pretty good job. I'm really pretty, but I'm also an awkward person going through the awkwardness of adolescence. So I thought she did a pretty good job. And also she has to, it's kind of tough, she has to play she doesn't represent a lot of things. She has to be her own self, but then she also represents Peter Parker or Tom Holland's love interest, or he wants her to be the love interest. So that's kind of interesting, kind of like you're playing this, I don't want to say object, but you're playing someone else's muse, if you will. Because obviously Tom Holland has a lot more to do, gets to like chew up the scenery with all the different stuff that is happening to him. Besides that, JB Smooth, I always think it's funny when these movies, they kind of plug in a person from, obviously, you know his work from Curb Your Enthusiasm. So it's always interesting when I think people are from TV shows just go to these like huge blockbuster movies, because I don't know, I'm just guessing, kind of want to raise their profile. Because Curb Your Enthusiasm, granted, is very popular, but if you do a Marvel movie, there's just so many eyes watching you. You're gonna reach so many different people. It's like a different demographic, I would say. He's in there, he's just a side supporting character. He doesn't have much to do, but plays one of the teachers. Besides that, any standouts? The Asian guy, the chubby guy, I'm sorry, I shouldn't know your name. You know, as a fellow Asian, I should be able to represent you, but he does a good job as Tom Holland or Peter Parker's sidekick or his friend. Like, I don't know, if I got superpowers, I'd probably tell one or two of my really good friends, just because there'd be so much going on that you just have to kind of share that with someone. You imagine being a superhero and then like, you can't tell anybody. You have to have someone to funnel that to or vent that to, I would say. Besides that, who else? Anybody else in the movie I'm forgetting? Everybody else is basically kind of side characters. The Flash, who's played by the Indian guy, again, I'm sorry, I don't know his name. Probably should have done more research. I don't know. I understand from reading the articles, Flash in the comic book is kind of like this dumb jock who just harasses Peter Parker all the time. But in this movie, they made him more like rich and still kind of a D-bag, but like in a different way. So I don't feel any impact from him. Not because the actor is bad, just how they changed it. They changed his role in the movie, I guess, to be more contemporary or like 2019. So basically, besides that, I would say Mysterio's really cool. He's able to kind of show off his powers. He's a very interesting guy. In this movie, I thought they kind of ratchet up the special effects. You get to see Spider-Man do a whole bunch of different stuff that he didn't really do in the first movie, which basically shows off his agility, his ability to move. When you see this guy in action, it's not cliche, he's basically dancing. So I think all of that was really good. And then I think I mentioned it before, but if I did it, I think it was a nice, refreshing movie, especially after like Endgame, which is so climactic, so many highs, so many lows. So I thought this was it's kind of like you eat like a heavy steak, and then after the heavy steak, later on the day, you basically just eat something very light, like a salad, because it was like, you don't want to just keep eating steak, it's just too much. So I thought that was really good, and then not to spoil it, the way it ends, like I cannot wait to see the third Spider-Man. Like hopefully that gets, well, I don't think hopefully, I think it's gonna get greenlit, because these Marvel movies are just like killing it at the movie theater. So I'm looking forward to that, and yeah, what can I say? Would I recommend seeing the movie? Yes, because I'm a Marvel nerd, I'm a little bit biased, like I've mentioned in previous videos. And you're not really into Marvel, or you're not watching all the MCU stuff, I would say it's still quite a like enjoyable movie. You can kind of go in there, turn off your brain for a couple hours, and you can take your kids. Like a fun summer movie, I would say. So, I say that's about it. Again, if you like this video, please subscribe, comment, like down below, and I'll see you at the next video, okay? Peace!
Everywhere I go, I see his face. I just really miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too. I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs.
What?
I'm kidding. Look, keep up the good work. Because I am going on vacation.
Heads up, Nick Fury's calling you.
I don't really want to talk to Nick
Answer
Fury.
the phone.
Why?
Because if you don't talk to him, then I have to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. You sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
What up, dorks?
What's up? We're just talking about the trip.
I'm here in St. Marco Polo's. Oh,
I think MJ really likes me.
that reminds me when I first fell in love.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man. This is Mr. Beck.
We could have used someone like you on my world.
Your world?
Beck is from Earth, just not ours. The snap to our hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do, and you're coming with us.
There's gotta be someone else you can use. What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel? Unavailable. But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
What do you want, Peter?
I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ,
I'm Spider-Man.
No, of course I'm not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You're right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility. Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die.
I just always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
You're going to step up or not?
I gotta get you guys out of here. Get on the jet. Who are you? I work with Spider-Man.
You work for Spider-Man?
I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man. New plan.